Hello and welcome to the channel. Today we're working back on the 2005 GMC Envoy. Had an issue after I did all that front end work. The power steering cooler sprung a leak. Take care of that. In order to do that, we need to remove the front bumper. So sit back and enjoy the ride. So to remove the cooler, which is down in this slot down here, behind there, you have to remove this cover. So in order to remove the cover, you have to take the grill off, and then there's a bunch of plastic clips, a couple 10mm bolts, and two clip brackets that hold this on, and then there's two 13mm bolts that hold the cooler on, and then of course you have the two hoses for the power steering lines that I already replaced the power steering lines. Mine's a little bit more interesting because the bumper had started separating before I bought it, and the person put screws in. So they shouldn't be too bad to get out, and hopefully they don't break. So let me set you down, and I'll get some tools and we'll get started on this. Alright, let's start. So take the grill off, and in order to do that, there are 8 of these little clips here. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then there's 4 on the bottom. So they are just a spring steel. So you need to pry the grill off gently, because it is plastic, old plastic. It's 2005. So to do that, you just take a flat-bladed screwdriver, get down in there behind the metal clip. Push down a little bit. Get down behind the plastic clip. Push down a little bit. Pry gently. Alright, that doesn't seem to want to be going. It seems to want to break the plastic. So you can try pushing down on the nipple part in the back to get that started down. Alright, there's one. Push that down, gets it started. I believe that's 2. Yep. Push down. Three. And that one broke, or was broken already. The plastic isn't even in the clip. Alright, so that's the clips up here. Alright, I stand corrected. There are 6 up here. So there's the ones up here. A couple of them were broken. I think I actually broke one. One of the luxuries of it being my own car Oh, okay, those lift up. Okay. So this is what those clips look like. Like I said, one was broken and I broke one. And then there are two 10mm bolts here. This one is supposed to be a plastic clip, and I believe it is. So we get set up for those. Alright, so we'll try and get this plastic clip up. And let's see if it has a center button. It does not appear to. That does not seem to want to come out too easily. It definitely seems like that's a center pin. Let me try again. And it is. My bad. Alright. For those who haven't seen them, it is what I thought originally. I just needed to pull a little harder. Just to kind of go slow. So this is a center pin. So when the pin's not in there, it allows the edges to squeeze together and go through the hole, and then once it's installed, you push it in and the pin spreads the ears out to prevent it from pulling back out. So the pin just lifts up and allows the plug to come out. All right. Two 10mm bolts, loud noises. Alright, so there's those two. There, because mine's been modified, I got two screws here. Okay, so take the license plate bracket off. On mine, it was just held on with 4 of these clips. And that allows me to access the 4 clips down here. 3, 4. So down here. And just kind of go slow. It is old plastic. It's probably a good idea to have new plastic clips ready to go in case these break. They are in there pretty good, and tools that I have right now don't go over the shank, so I'm just prying across against this flimsy lip, which doesn't make things easy. Oh, I got one of them. Well, there's two. There's three. Get on the other side of you guys. And there's four. So that's what these plugs look like. Little Christmas trees. Now, if everything I found is correct, I need to reach in behind this fender liner, and then there'll be a tab on each side to depress, and it should allow the cover to slide off. This one seems like it's right here. Alright, so that's one. That's two. So right here, you can see the pin slides into a groove, and I didn't need to take those off. And that should be everything that allows this bumper to slide off. However, nope, looks like it. All right, let me see if it'll slide off. Right, mine apparently has more clips than everything else I've seen. Pull that pin apart, and you can see there's a metal bracket right here that it's attached to. And I'll go pull the one off the other side. and that allows the bumper cover to come off. So now let me get the marker light and the marker light and the fog light unplugged on both sides, and then this cover will be able to be removed completely. And right here is the cooler, and as you can see, it's been dumping all the new fluid out. Wow, that's kind of weird. And of course mine seems to be different than everyone else I've seen. Mine has this additional scoop on it which helps direct the air into the cooler, but it's an additional piece that may have to come off. Looks like there's just a plastic tab here and one on the top. Although it feels like it's bolted on someplace. Alright, I don't know. I'll be back after I get it off and I'll show you how I did it, because I'm not sure how it's held on. Alright, so after looking at this thing for a while, I believe I can get this pulled out of the way enough to slide the new one up. So that's what I'm gonna do, because otherwise I think I would have had to take this metal part of the bumper off. So there's two large bolts, one there, one here, and then there's a wire harness bolted to the back side of the bumper, and it's gonna get messy real quick. So I'm hoping I can just, by pulling that out, drop this one out and then slide the new one in. Not so worried about dropping this one out, because if it gets damaged more, it's not relevant because it's broken already. And then right here are the two cooling lines that go into it. So these two clips need to be opened up and then these hoses slid off. And so it's just two bolts and two hoses, and then that cooler should come right out. Alright, so let's get these clips off. So that clip just slides back, and we'll slide the other one back. Slide those back off the hose, off the nipple, and then they shouldn't be on too bad because they were just replaced. However, it is 32 degrees outside, so they're a little stiff. You know, someone left the garage door open, so, you know, it's a little chilly in here. All right, there's one. You can see the little barb on it. You can see the little barb on it, so that's what the hose clamp goes behind, and it keeps the fluid from going out past. Sorry for my hand. And then take the other one and work that one off. Alright, and then there's that one. Oh, catching it in a rag. More fluid in there than I thought. So, but it's not going on the ground. So now I just have the two 13mm bolts. Alright. They're not 13. Actually, they are 13. I just still had the 10mm on. Oh well. Okay, there's one. There's two. And there is the old cooler. Here's the new cooler. It is lighter in weight than this because this one's made of aluminum. This one's made of steel. This one here has a solid rail on top and bottom, where this one just had open fins. So compare the two. Look to be the same length. We got the hoses, so looks like it's gonna work. So pull that down. Hard part's gonna be getting the, well, never mind. I was gonna say the hard part's gonna be getting those hoses fished up, those lines fished up there, but they went up pretty easy. Unless I didn't go in the right place. Looks okay. So slide that up here. So, on mine, I have it slid all the way over. Doesn't quite line up, so I'm going to have to manipulate these two lines to be able to get it tweaked over this way some more. And I need to tweak these lines enough that they're not constantly rubbing on the rail here. So let me get that done. They're not hard at all to move. Like I said, they're only aluminum, but you do need to be careful because you don't want to put a crimp in here and prevent fluid from flowing through. All right, so there's that. And when I put this bolt in, there is some play in between the hose, I mean the line, and the steel upper line needs to go just a scotch more. All right, there's that. And get that cinch down. Don't fully tighten it yet because we still gotta deal with the other side. This side isn't as bad because it has an oblong hole, so it allows for some movement. Get the bolt in there. Get this tightened down. Loud noises. And we'll tighten down the other side now. Okay, so there's that installed. All right, now we just throw the hoses on. There's one. There's two. Get these clips pushed back. All right, there's one. And two. All right, so there's those two hose clamps in. And just get the bumper put back on now. Fill up the power steering fluid, and that should be good to go. So where the bulbs go in, they're just a twist. So the way the bulbs go in, they just go in and twist. So they're pretty simple. Only problem is kind of briefly hang the bumper from the wires. Get everything together. So here's the pin that the bumper sits on, and then it slides into this groove, and then this plastic tab slides and snaps in behind that pin. Okay, so there's that back together. Now we'll just refill. So now we'll just refill the power steering fluid. It goes right here into the reservoir. And the wind's blowing, so I gotta play the wind. There we go, it stopped. See if I can get this filled quickly before the wind blows again. I said someone left the garage door open, so a little chilly and windy out here. So because we are basically out of fluid, we'll fill it completely and not worry about the fill line, because it will drain down, bleed through the system. So we have to fill the cooler up, and most likely the rack. So we'll let that self-bleed for a little bit. I'll be right back, and then we'll start it up. And then you have to turn the wheels left and right to full stops on both sides. Do that a few times, and that will help bleed the air out of the system. This will most likely bubble and become foamy. That's not a concern, because like I said, it's aerating the oil. Once it sits for a bit, all the air will come out of solution and it will be fine. But while there's air in the system, you may get some squealing from the power steering pump. So just keep that in mind. Let me go get it started, and be right back. Contact. Alright, so as you can see down in there, it looks milky. Like I said, that's just the air. So like I said, you let that settle, the air will come out of solution. So let me see where we're at with fluid level. Alright, so right now you can see we're just barely on the dipstick, and you have this line, so as you can see, we're just barely on the dipstick. You have this line here, which is the cold line. Then you have this line here, which is where you want the fluid if it's hot. So right now we're cold, so we'll add some more fluid to it, to get it up near there. Like I said, with the air in it, it will be a little higher just because the air takes up some volume, and so when air comes out, it will actually lower itself somewhat, not a tremendous amount. All right, play in the wind. Oh, it's coming the other direction now, so check it again. All right, so right now we're right here in between the hot and the cold lines. So like I said, when that air comes out, it should drop down to just about the cold line. So that's perfect. Thanks for joining me. If you're so inclined, please hit that like and subscribe button. It really helps the channel out. Ring the bell, that way you'll be notified of the next video, that way you don't miss out.